Beautiful. I love hearing all the birds wake up. One more deep breath here. Beautiful. And I can already feel the tightness in my legs when we sit here. They want to come up the knees. That's okay. We're going to open up the legs, bring the right foot in, left foot out. Finding those sit bones. Bring it out as far as it feels okay to do so. You're not falling forward or back. The shoulders aren't rolling forward or back. Beautiful. And if you can, we're going to reach with the peace fingers to that big toe. If we can't, we can hold onto the calf. And instead of turning over to the side like we did the other day, keeping up nice and tight, nice upright position, shoulders forward, not curved forward, just open to the front. And breathe. You can flex the foot. Remember not to lock that knee. And breathe. One more breath here. See if you can bring the chest forward just a little bit more, like you're forward folding, holding onto that big toe. And come all the way back up. We're going to exchange sides. Level out those sit bones again. Find your alignment. And then grabbing on where you can of that foot as well, keeping those shoulders back and down, but facing forward. Keep softness through the knee. Trying to keep both sit bones down. You can flex through that foot. One more breath. See if you can come forward. Forward folding right at center while you hold on to that foot. Try to keep a nice alignment through the spine though. Beautiful. Coming all the way back up. Now cross that right foot in front of the left as you're going to come into cross-legged position, but come into a seated position where you just keep that foot in front. And be up nice and tall. And then you can use a bolster in front of you, but try to forward fold where you have the nice alignment from the crown. And you can bring the hands in front if they reach, or fingertips, and come all the way forward as much until you keep those sit bones on the ground. Don't lift it up. I'm feeling really tight. You'll feel it in the hips here. Breathe down the spine. One more breath. And then coming all the way back up. Now we're going to open up both legs in a comfortable position. If you find you lock your knees too much, you can always place something underneath them. Flex both feet, be up nice and tall. You need to just hold on to the shins, hold on to the shins. If you can, both peace fingers to big toes. Coming forward, folding from the hips, nice straight line from the crown of the head, down the spine. And you can count this forward, folding as those hips allow. Feel all the sensations in all different places. Side body, hips, legs. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way back up. All the way back up. Let's bring that left foot in front this time. And we're going to cross the right over the calf, placing it down, holding on to that chin. Be up nice and tall. And then we're going to hold on with the left. You can hook it all the way around in the crease of the elbow, or you can just hold on to it. Be up nice and tall and bring the right hand behind. Over that shoulder. One more breath. Bring it all the way back to center. We're going to raise that leg up, the right leg. We're going to place it on the thigh, nice tight squeeze. Yep, nice and tall, belly towards that thigh. It might be better to hook it this time, right in the crease of the elbow, right hand behind. Let's wheel that sun out. Some more. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Bring it all the way back to center. Going for half shoelace here. Pointing that right toes towards the left. Stacking the knees over top of each other. Be up nice and tall. And instead of twisting, we're coming forward, folding. Fingertips can touch the mat. Active bottom leg. One more breath. See if you can forward fold a little bit more with the exhale. And come all the way back up. Releasing that right leg, give it a shake. Beautiful. Bring in that left, cross that left over the calf. Active bottom leg, be up nice and tall. And when you're ready, you can do the twist, holding out with the hand, left behind. They say our gardens grow with thunderstorms. They say nutrients are released during thunderstorms. So let's find our own nutrients, our own growth from the storms. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And coming all the way back to center. All the way back to center. And bring that leg all the way up beside the calf. Nice tight squeeze. Bring that belly towards that thigh. When you're ready, you can hook in the crease of the elbow or holding on with the hand, left behind. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And coming all the way back to center, all the way back to center, preparing for half shoelace. Stacking those knees on top of each other, left foot points out. Yep, nice and tall. Forward folding where you can. Send those beautiful hips, fingertips to the mat. Inhale and exhale. See if you can forward fold just a little bit more. Careful of that bottom knee, active bottom leg. And coming all the way back up. Releasing that left leg, shake it out. Beautiful. Let's bring them into butterfly. We are done with all the angles of those hips. Moving side to side in butterfly. Being up nice and tall, holding on to those ankles if you can. Open up the feet like a book. The bottom's the spine, holding it up. And again, you can forward fold if you like. Bring those elbows to the outside. Beautiful. Coming all the way back up. And let's make our way to the ground. All the way to the ground. Feet can be on the earth though. If you need something underneath your head, you can do that now. Bring those heels nice and close. We're going to do a couple of bridges. Let's go for 3 bridges today. See how that feels. You can bring your hands underneath or out to the side. Shoulders back. See if you can try to bring your shoulder blades a little bit close together underneath you to open up that chest a little bit more. And when the back is settled and you're ready, all the feet are grounded, supportive. You can lift up those hips. Lift them up high, bringing weight into the shoulder blades. Making sure you're not bringing those knees out. You're still hip distance. One more breath here. Lift it up. And slowly lower down. In between knees, you can bring the knees into the chest if you like. This will always take a nice full inhale, exhale when we land. And when you're ready, making sure those feet are anchored, toes are separated, shoulder blades are back behind you, shoulders are open, and lift up when you're ready. Squeeze those glutes. One more breath. Bring it up. And slowly lower down. Beautiful. Full inhale, long exhale. Let's raise up those hips again when you're ready. Inhale, bring it all the way up. One more. And lower down. When you've settled the back, find length through the spine. You can bring those knees into the chest, give them a hug. Maybe flex the feet, maybe move side to side. Beautiful. Let's bring those knees out to the side towards the armpits, flexing those feet. Bring the hands between the legs, going for a happy baby, or you can stay holding on to the outside. Holding onto the feet if you're going to go for full happy baby. Bringing those feet up, relax the shoulders. And we're trying to keep those hips down, not rolling them up. For one more breath. Beautiful. Release the hands. Bring those knees together. Point the toes. We're going to start to rock. Coming up to our boat. Finding your momentum. And find your boat. Some days it takes one. Some days it takes a lot of rocking. Breathe. Powerful fingers. Lift up that chest. Shoulders back. Breathe, breathe, breathe. One more breath here. Cross at the ankles. Come into your seated position. Come all the way forward. Hands come in front of you. And we're going to send those legs back into high plank. Beautiful. High plank. Push through the shoulders. Push through the glutes. Breathe. Lift the hips. First downward facing dog. Walk the feet in a little bit. Ears beside the arms. Lifting the hips and breathe. One more big breath here. And then looking forward, stepping the right hand on the outside, or the right foot on the outside of the right hand. You can drop that back knee, untuck the toes, and settle in here for a little bit. If the hips are too open for you, just lift them back and breathe. Let's walk the left hand a little bit closer to that right foot. Right hand can come on the right hip, keeping that knee from going out. But turning your gaze to be that right shoulder. Everything's active. Those legs are working to stay where they are. Bring it back down. Bring it the right hand back down to the mat. Let's lengthen through that front leg, picking up the toes, bringing the hips back. You can reach on the outside of that right leg if you like, or right foot. One more breath. Beautiful. Plant it down. We're actually going to make that right foot nice and strong. We're going to lift back up that back leg, and we're going to step it on the outside of that left hand right into our yogi squat. Settle down the hips. Find your yogi squat. Even if you're higher up, just working on lifting that chest. One more breath. Bring those hands down, lift the hips all the way up, coming into a ragdoll with the legs more than hip distance apart. You need to keep the head up, just bring the hands to the thighs. Let it all go here. Let the arms feel heavy. Maybe shake out the head, yes and no. Beautiful. Let's heel toe those feet back underneath the hips where they want to be. Beautiful. And slowly start to come up, activating through the legs, through the belly, shoulders back, and the ears over the shoulders, palms face forward, mountain pose. Beautiful. Inhale those arms, greet the sun. It wants to come out today. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, looking forward, flattening that back. Perfect. Exhale, let's step it back, high plank. Chaturanga, knees or chest down, or just low plank to upward facing dog or cobra. To downward facing dog for 2 breaths. Lift up those hips. You're going to step that left foot after your 2 breaths on the outside of that left hand. Drop that back knee, untuck the toes, and hold. And breathe. Let's walk that right hand closer to that left leg. Bring that left hand to the hips, looking over that shoulder, keeping that knee from going out. Plant that foot in the earth. Open from the belly, from the hips. One more breath. Beautiful. Bring the hand back down to the mat. Straighten that front leg as you bring up the toes. Bring the hips back. Again, you can reach for the outside of that foot with the left hand. Same sensations when you had the legs wide and we were seated. One more breath. Releasing that foot, planting it back down, activating the back leg, picking up the knee, and hold as we come back into a yogi squat. Step it forward. Ooh, take it into the sand here. Bring it all down to your yogi squat, or maybe you want a higher up one this time. But notice how further you can sink into it after you've done it one time. Breathe, lift the chest. One more breath. Beautiful. Bring the hands down to the earth. Lift the hips, keeping those legs where they are, more than hip distance apart. You can lift up the head if you need to. We're going to bring the hands over to the left foot and forward fold over the left foot. If you need to be higher up, you can still hold on to that thigh. Still bringing the hips over to the left. Beautiful. Bring that right hand to the outside of the left calf. Left hand raises up and holds onto the hips and looks behind you. Bring it back down. Bring it back to center and over to that right side. And breathe. And you twist open to the right side. Bring it back down, back to center, and slowly come up, activating the legs all the way back up. Let's heel toe those feet in or walk them in. Beautiful. Find your mountain pose. Activate the feet, spread the toes, shoulders back. Bring in the belly, bring in the rib cage. Activate even the glutes. Beautiful. We're going to bring the right hand up. Left comes to the leg. And we're going to bring the right, let's bring the right ear to the right shoulder and bring those fingertips to the left ear. Breathe. Remember not to put too much pressure on your head. You're opening up that elbow to the top corner. One more breath. Release the hand. Bring the head back to center. Right arm slides down the left leg. Left arm comes up, or right leg. Left arm comes up. Bring that left ear to the left shoulder. Fingertips drop to the right ear. And breathe. Try to keep that nice mountain pose through the body. Release the hand, bring it back down, head comes back to neutral. Find the mountain pose, hands, palms face forward. Inhale those arms all the way up. You can look towards those fingers, taking that slight back bend if you wish to take. Coming all the way back up. Exhale, forward fold. See if those fingers came a little closer to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, high plank. Or to knees. Breathe. Let's lift the hips, downward facing dog. Walk the feet in. And then let's lift up the right leg, shooting it back, pointing those toes. And we're going to do those 3 repetitions we've done last week, bringing that knee into the chest and coming forward slightly, pushing into the hands, and bring it back out for 3 on both sides. Breathe throughout. When you're done your 3 on the right side, switch to the left. Beautiful. Bring both feet to the earth, lift the hips, back into downward facing dog. When you're done, drop the knees, tabletop, untuck the toes, sink the hips all the way back. Child's pose. Breathe. We're going to do 2 more full repetitions of that. Knee to chest. If you need to take a modified, you can come to tabletop. Just extending that right leg, bring it into the chest and out. You can come up from child's pose, tabletop. to downward facing dog. And when you're ready, you can start your next round. 3 on both sides. Remember to breathe. Beautiful. Bring it down to the knees. Child's pose in between. And when you're ready, next round, final round. You're in tabletop or downward facing dog. And begin breathing throughout. Squeeze the glutes. And back into your final child's pose. You can make it a little wider this time. Sink it all the way down. One more breath here, nice and long. Beautiful. Come up to tabletop. And then come up to the knees if you can. You need to add anything on those knees. A little more comfort. Mine are sinking right into the sand. It's quite nice. You can have the toes tucked under. It's a little more intense. We're going for some back bends. But we're going to do them half supported for those back bends. So we're going to bring that right foot forward. Create a nice stability, knee aligned with that heel. Tuck in the belly, shoulders back. Beautiful. We're going to bring up the left hand. We're going to bring it back towards that heel. Open up. You don't have to touch down. If you can touch down, the right hand can lift. Opening up the chest. Use your stability. Squeeze those glutes. You don't fall over to that open side. Breathe. Bring the right hand down. Bring the left hand forward as you pull yourself back up. Beautiful. Exchange the legs. Find your nice stability first. Squeeze the glutes. Make sure you don't have a pelvis tilt coming forward. It's back. So you engage through the belly. Bring in that belly button. Left hand comes to the thigh. At first, right hand comes up and back. And then left hand can raise. Opening up. Beautiful chest. Opening up the heart. Opening up the belly. Opening up from the right side. One more breath. Bring down the hands. Bring the other one back and over. Woo! Find your stability again. Bring that left knee back. And you're on the knees again. You can bring the hands to your lower back. Trying to keep those elbows pointed back, not out to the sides. So roll those shoulders out. And maybe this is where you stay. This is what you're trying to accomplish. Belly tucked in, glutes nice and tight, and just trying to bring those elbows back. Fingers can be pointed down, and they're quite close to each other. They're not out to the hips. Or you can start to look up to the sky, bringing those hips forward, lifting the chest, and breathe. One more breath. And bring it all the way back up. Release the hands forward. Sink those hips all the way back towards the heels. Bring in the belly. Modified child's pose. Bring the hands forward. When I'm doing the reverse to arch my back after we've been back bending, I like to keep the thighs a little bit closer in than a normal child's pose, just to help get a little more arch in the back. One more breath. You come all the way forward, all the way forward, all the way to your belly, hands underneath your shoulders. Beautiful. We're going to do alternating hands and leg lifts, just like we do in tabletop, but this time laying down. So we're going to reach out the hands in front of us. We're going to lift the right hand and left leg, making sure you're looking forward and down to where it's comfortable for your neck. And you're not straining the neck. Lead with the chest, lead with the glutes, everything nice and active. Inhale, lift, right hand, left leg. Breathe. We're shooting them out, not just up. And lower down. Other side. Left hand, right leg. Breathe. Lower down. We're going to go again. Right hand, left leg, lift. Squeeze the glutes. Belly nice and tight. Lower down. Other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, opposite side. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Nice work. Bring the hands underneath the forehead. Beautiful. Bring those hands back underneath the shoulders, elbows nice and close. We're going to do a push up to knees and then into puppy or melted heart. So tuck in those toes, push in those knees, start lifting the bum, push into the hands, push up. And then bring the hips back to align with the knees, over the knees, sink down the forehead, stretch out the arms, puppy pose, or melted heart. Feeling that nice stretch near the shoulders, side body. Beautiful. We're going to take an extra shoulder stretch. You'll bring in the hands underneath the shoulders at first. So coming into a tabletop. You can stay at tabletop if you don't like the shoulder stretch and doing some cat-cows, working with that spine flexibility again. Or you can stretch out the left hand, right hand coming, reaching underneath, dropping to that right shoulder. Right side of the cheek hits the mat. Or slowly lowers down. And breathe. Try to keep the hips back to center. Weight distributed on both knees evenly. And back in the tabletop. And on to the other side. Left reaches underneath the right armpit. Right arm reaches in front. One more breath. And you're lifting back up to tabletop. Give a few cat cows, releasing any tension in the spine. Maybe little S formations as you roll forward. Maybe bring the hips over to one side and then the other side. And then little circles with the hips. And go the other way. Beautiful. We're going to come back and be seated on our bum. Bring our legs forward. We're going to do a couple more boats just to keep the fire in our belly. So ground those feet. Find the sit bones. Legs are hip distance apart, not too wide, not too stable that way. Bring those hands forward, fingertips active. Lean back slightly until that belly starts to get active, and then bring the feet up. And hold steady boat. You can open up the arms, palms facing up. And as we keep this fire in the belly, we're going to pulse the arms. For 3, 2, 1. Keep the arms nice and still and extend the legs nice and long. Bring them in. Extend the legs. Bring them in. Last time, extend. Bring them all the way in. Bring the feet back to the earth, holding onto those shins. Bring the chin into the chest, nice little ball. Beautiful. We're going to lower down all the way to the back, hinging from the hips, active hands, and lower down nice and slow. All the way down. Arms are open. Extend the legs. Breathe into the belly. Making sure first all of the back and shoulders are settled to the mat. Deep breath. And then we're going to start to do banana stand on the right side. So activate the legs. Toes point up or toes point out. Whatever's more comfortable for you. Bring the hands up overhead. Bring it all over to the right side. You can cross at the ankles if you like, the extra stretch. Wonderful. Uncross the legs. Bring everything back to center. And before we go on the left side, we're actually going to do catching cat's tail on the right side, or you can just take a supine twist on the right side. So bring those feet to the earth, tilt the pelvis. Beautiful. You can lower down the arms if you like, or if you feel pretty comfortable overhead, you can keep them there. So we're going to drop the knees over to the right. That bottom leg comes back, foot comes back towards the glutes. Right leg can stay where it is, or it can extend forward slightly. And you can drop that left arm to touch the toes if you can reach them, or if it doesn't feel comfortable, don't do it. And just take a supine twist. For one more breath. Beautiful. Release those toes. Bring those legs together and bring everything back to the mat. You can release the hands for a moment. Wiggle it out, making sure everything comes back to center. And then extend the legs, extend the arms, and banana Santa on the left side. Again, you can do that extra little ankle crossing. For one more long breath here, full exhale. Release the ankles. Bring your legs back to center. And again, supine twist or catching the cat's tail. Bring those legs to the mat, tilt the pelvis. And then bring the knees over to the left side. Bottom foot comes back. Right arm drops to touch the toes or the tail. And breathe. I feel like we have this entire campsite to ourselves. Everyone's staying inside after the storm. For one more breath. Release the tail. Bring the knees back on top of each other. Bring everything back to center. Hands can lower down, palms face up. And just windshield wiper those hips out. Before we lower down to Shavasana, see what final stretch you need. Maybe knees into chest. Maybe a waterfall, maybe just a full body stretch. Give you this time. See what the body needs to release down to the mat. Bending those legs, let them flop open. I always feel like there's this energy behind me or in front of me. And when I move, I have to pause to let it all catch up and then settle back in the body. So allow that moment where everything catches up and settles. Keep this moment in the mind where the water is settled, trees are standing tall. Breathing is nice and settled. Keeping that moment with you when all the storms arrive. Knowing we'll come back to this peaceful moment. We can find it within ourselves at any time. Give yourself 3 deep breaths, focusing on the navel and the belly. Exhale fully, waiting for that next breath to be asked for. Start to move those fingers and toes. Start to move the legs, pointing the toes so the whole legs become active. Beautiful. Bring one foot to the mat. Bring the other foot to the mat. Pelvis tilts. Feel nice and long through the torso. And using our abdominals, picking up those knees, bring them into the chest, not lifting the back. We're going to drop it over to the right side, staying on that right hip. Keeping the left off of the mat, just fold slightly over to the right. A little fire in the belly. Bring it back to center. Over to the left side. Bring it back to center. And let's drop it all the way over to your side for fetal position. One hand under the head. And then finding your way to your sit bones again. Settling it all down. Take this last little moment of peace, quiet in your morning as it starts to get louder and louder as the day goes on. Find your alignment. Nice and tall through the crown of the head. Final breath. Inhale those arms all the way up. Gather in all this beauty. Bring it in through the mind, connecting it to the heart and into our intuition. Namaste.